How are you, Kara?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, so I heard you travel a lot, and just believe that traveling broadens the mind. So what do you personally focus on while traveling?
Well, it's funny, I'm still always really amazed that we actually can get in a large piece of tin, if you will, take off and fly through the air. And I think I still have a sense of wonder around the fact that we're able to get in a plane and go somewhere in a short amount of time. And I like looking out the window and reflecting on the landscape, if you can see it, the clouds. So when I think about focusing on something, it's often a visual reaction to something. What do I think about? I mean, I think about so many things. I wonder what the food's going to be. I wonder what, sort of the basics. And then, when I get to a place of reflection, I'm often thinking about my family who's far away from me, or thinking about things I'd like to do differently in my life or improve in my life. So yeah, it can go a whole bunch of different directions, but I think I'm grateful for the sort of the if I can call it a sacred space on a plane. I mean, it's a time where you can't go anywhere. There's no escaping. Sometimes that's a bad experience, sometimes that's a good experience, but mostly it's a time to just pause, and you have no internet connection. You have no, I mean, unless you're on a plane that offers it, but typically I wouldn't even check my emails on a plane, because I actually like that it requires me to just sort of turn off and pause and take a breath. So.
Your favorite place on earth? Do you have one?
Well, I'm from Vancouver, so I think Vancouver is pretty awesome. I've traveled a fair amount. That's a hard one to just say one. But yeah, I mean, I've been really lucky and fortunate to travel to some interesting places. I would say, for me, going to Rwanda and working there and living there for a period of time has changed my life, and so I have a lot of fond memories. Similarly, I have a lot of fond memories of living and working in Lithuania, and so that time, they're not typically the hot spots on people's vacation list, not like a Paris or a London or a New York, but they've been really formative in my life, and they've affected me and changed my life. So I think fondly about them.
Okay, and I heard that Frog hires about 500 people. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Yeah, we're about 600 people in 8 studios across the globe. Some in the U.S., some in Europe, and also in Asia.
How is it to work with so many people?
Yeah, we're not working. You're not working all the time with all those people. What I like about the setup that we do have, is the global perspective. So we often are calling and chatting and emailing. Time zones affect when you can do that, but it's a very collaborative organization. So the idea of being able to have a call with somebody on any given day, even if I'm not working in the studio with them, the benefit of things like Skype or other tools that we can use to be able to actually communicate and see each other even enhances that all the more. So yeah, it works out really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You mentioned during your presentation to design, this phrase, to design is to improve life. Mm-hmm. What does it mean?
Well, it's a big responsibility, but yeah, I think design is, it's the chairs we're sitting on, it's the glasses you drink your nice glass of wine or your beer out of. All of those things have a level of improving your life. If you need to take a rest, it's nice to have a chair. If you'd like to have a nice meal with your friends, it's nice to have a nice drink to go along with it. Where that gets even more important is spaces like the healthcare industry, and so when people's medical and health issues are the things that you actually have to take into consideration, that improves life. And so, yeah, I can talk about work that we've done in Africa or in India, where the idea is to improve life there. I think the improving of life can be right around the corner and be the simplest and most subtle thing. I think it's an intention that the thing that you make it might bring delight, it might bring joy, it might be life-saving. And I think there's a spectrum of what it means to improve life depending on who you're designing for and what the situation actually is.
Okay, this is clear now for me. Okay, you work for Frog, so I prepared a little gift for you.
Oh,
the
that's
frog.
so awesome.
Yeah.
That will sit on my desk. That is a great token
I'd
of
like
remembrance.
to ask you to take a picture when you go back home.
Okay.
Or if you're outfit, just take a picture
Yeah.
of the frog and send to us.
Okay, I can do
Yeah,
that.
Be creative.
I can definitely do that. I'm sure I can get some other frogs involved in helping to support me. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's great.